his place stood a survivor, his mind sharpened by a decade of isolation, and his resolve hardened by the memory of the chains. He was ready to reclaim what was lost. Pip moved through the undergrowth, his presence barely a ripple in the foliage. He found them waiting in the hollows, 3 others, lean and scarred, who had lost everything to the occupation. They did not speak. They communicated through sharp hand signals. Pip spread a map etched into a piece of dry bark, pointing to the patrol routes he had charted for months. The banana guards moved in a predictable loop, their heavy footsteps echoing against the stone paths every 12 minutes. Pip traced the path with a calloused finger, marking the exact moment the guards turned their backs. The group nodded in unison. They spent the next hours refining their movements, practicing the silent takedown of sentries and the swift dismantling of alarms. As the moon climbed to its zenith, they reached the final staging point. The mansion loomed ahead, its windows dark and imposing. Pip signaled a halt. He pressed his ear to the ground, listening for the rhythmic thud of the patrol. It was time. The patrol passed, their heavy boots crunching rhythmically on the gravel. Pip waited until the sound faded into the distance before signaling the advance. He leapt, fingers locking onto the cold stone of the mansion wall. He hauled himself up, muscles straining, and rolled over the parapet. His team followed, moving like shadows of the family. They dropped into the courtyard, landing in a crouch. A guard rounded the corner, his head turning toward their position. Pip lunged, catching the guard's shoulder and pulling him into the darkness of an alcove before sound could escape. The guard slumped, unconscious. They moved deeper into the mansion, reaching the main supply corridor. Pip pulled a thin blade from his belt and sliced through the thick ropes, securing the primary crates. The contents spilled out, but he ignored them, moving instead to the central distribution lines. He worked with surgical speed, severing the heavy cables that powered the mansion's internal alarms and lighting. Sparks showered the floor as the power died, plunging the corridor into total darkness. The mansion's heartbeat faltered. Every light went out. Pip signaled his team to move toward the central hall. The supply lines were severed, the mansion was isolated, and Pip stood at the threshold of the final corridor. His pulse steady, his path clear. Pip kicked the heavy oak doors inward. They swung open with